FPL Physio here, and this is my Game Week 15 transfer tips and my team selection for Game Week 15. I think there is something you need to know about Game Week 15 and Game Week 19. So let's jump right into it because I think it would matter when planning your transfers for Game Week 15. As you can see, I've highlighted Game Week 15 and Game Week 19 at the top. And I've done that because if you look at, for example, Arsenal, they play Villa away in Game Week 15 and they play Villa at home at Game Week 19. And the same can be said about Brighton. They play West Ham at home in Game Week 15 and West Ham away in Game Week 19. So Game Week 15 and 19 is the exact same uh, game weeks, you could say. So I think there's opportunities when planning for transfers because if you can get players in who have a really great fixture in game week 15, they are very likely to of course also have a great fixture in game week 19. So let's look at it. The first one is Thiago, not the perfect fixture. They play Tottenham away in game week 15 and Tottenham home in game week 19. Tottenham is in terrible shape, playing awful. Defense is bad. Everything is bad. Thiago's underlying stats, we'll get more into that, but his case is also more about the fixtures in between where he play Leeds at home and Wolves away. If we take a look at another example, Phil Foden, also really popular player right now, transferred in by a lot of managers. He is playing Sunderland at home in game week 15 and Sunderland away in game week 19. In between that, you'll have West Ham at home in game week 17 as well. So it's completely understandable why he is a very popular own player. We'll get more into all of these players' underlying stats and if they're worth bringing in. Another one, Bruno, away against Wolves and home against Wolves, two perfect fixtures. We just saw Bruno play yesterday against home against West Ham, pretty good underlying stats. He hit DEFCON, and he could. These two fixtures could potentially be a major hold for him, as he would probably play higher up on the formation. Next one, Gakpo, also pretty popular, also pretty popular amongst all the AI prediction models. Of course, there's a bit of uncertainty about his minutes, but play away against Leeds and home against Leeds, and in between they also have Wolves at home. So 4 players here with a great fixture in game week 15 and a great fixture in game week 19. Also another one, Voldemar, for example, Newcastle play home against Burnley in 15 and away against Burnley in 19. Those are two extremely good fixtures. I forgot to include Brighton, but you could also say, for example, Minter or Welbeck home against West Ham and away against West Ham is two very good fixtures. So let's dive into it. Voldemar, for example, is he worth it? For the first of all, attackers is not popular in demand this year due to they got nerfed, you could say, a correction in the bonus point scoring system, for example. And Voldemar's underlying stats is not that impressive, and with his price tag, you might want to use some of the money elsewhere. If we take a look at Bruno, for example, with really great underlying stats, I think he would be a better buy, of course, if you had to choose between those two. If you look at his underlying stats, those are they're almost always above 0.5 xgi, which is really, really great. We also saw yesterday in the match against West Ham producing high xgi, hitting DEFCON. He just have so many routes to points. He has DEFCON, you'll get the extra clean sheet points, the assist, the goals, the penalties, everything. If you don't own Bruno, I would highly recommend getting him, because his many routes to points is just unbelievable. Then we have next up Phil Foden. Didn't perform at the start of the season, almost entirely the whole start of the season. He did produce some points in the beginning, but lately he's been on fire. 15 points against Leeds and 17 points against Fulham. And if you look at the last 3 matches, so against Newcastle, Leeds and Fulham, if you look at his XGI, his expected goal involvements, they have been increasing, and they look really, really strong. Of course, he's been overperforming the last 2 game weeks, but overall his underlying stats are good. There is of course a minutes risk. He's played 90 minutes in the last 2 games in this tight schedule, and he might get rested, but I would be surprised if he gets rested the whole game. Thiago, the penalty merchant, extremely high expected goal involvements, mainly due to all the penalties. Brentford get more penalties than Burnley probably score goals. But his non-penalty XG is actually also pretty good. He is one of, I think he's I can't completely recall it, 2nd or 3rd, maximum 4th highest in terms of XG. So he is a very, very popular player to get in. Also one that I'm looking at. Gakpo, he got subbed off and replaced by Salah in the last game, and he is indeed producing some insane expected goal involvements, and with Salah away for AFCON, he could be one to target. I'm just worried about his minutes. Wirtz is back from his short-term injury, and they just have so many offensive players. Of course, with Salah gone, his expected minutes might increase. Other than that, we have some worthy mentions. Tarkowski is one. These mentions are not particularly within the Gameweek 15 and Gameweek 19 hidden opportunity, but overall great buys, I would say. So we have Tarkowski there. We have Welbeck with great fixtures in Gameweek 15 and 19. Saka, of course, he got rested a bit in the last game week, so will probably start. Then we have Chow, I think it's pronounced, from Newcastle, and Cole Palmer. Of course, Cole Palmer is another case because he's just getting back from injury, and I made a video about how you would normally return to play after such a long injury. So be careful. I'm not looking at Cole Palmer before he has played at least 65 minutes. So this is my team selection. This is how I did it in Game Week 14. I did play triple captain on Bruno. I think that was such a high upside. It went terrible, but that's how it is. Move on to the next one. Munoz with a hole and Haaland with a hole. For Game Week 15, which is just around the corner, I've made 2 transfers. I've transferred out Semenyo for Foden and Senesi for Tarkowski. And mainly due to Bournemouth have a very tough fixtures coming up, except the Burnley match. Foden is of course playing home against Sunderland and away in game week 19. And Tarkowski seems to be a really great long-term buy, so that's why I brought him in. My team for game week 15 looks like this: Raya in goal away against Villa. I think it could be the first time he might um, maybe get some bonus point if they keep the clean sheet, because it's a tough fixture. Villa is looking really great, and clean sheet is not guaranteed at all. Timber also, and Timber will probably start and play 90. He got rested a bit last game week instead of Ben White, but he should be back in the starting lineup. Munoz also played 90 minutes, I think, and Crystal Palace never seem to rotate, but at some point they need to, because they play the same team in Premier League as they do in Europa League, or is it Conference League? I can't recall. So they need to rotate soon. Will it be this one? I don't know. Virgil, also away against Leeds, I think is a fine fixture. I think Liverpool is still underperforming compared to if you look objectively at the stats. So we're due for a clean sheet at least. Tarkowski home against Forest. Forest has improved, but Everton home, their expected goals conceded is extremely low when playing at home. So I think Tarkowski is a great one here. Enzo away against Bournemouth. Enzo has also played a lot of minutes. Will he get rested? We don't know. Away against Bournemouth, I think Enzo has many routes to points. If Palmer doesn't start, he's probably still on penalties. He could get some defcons, assist, goals, whatever. Foden home against Sunderland. We talked about that massive fixture. If he starts, we don't know if he's gonna get rested. And then Bruno and Mbemo, it was almost literally torture to watch them last night against West Ham. Bruno again, as I said, many routes to points, and Mbemo fewer routes to points, but it'll be his last match, his last game week in my team before going to AFCON. Haaland and Mateta on top. Haaland as the captain. Vice captain is set currently at Foden. Might change it to Bruno. Mateta is also one I'm considering transferring out pretty soon. The bench, mainly it's only Anderson there who will produce real points, I think. And I might move Krupi up as the second stop. So that's the team for now. As you can see, I'm ranked 300 and what was it, 92, 93, something. So had a red arrow last game week of about 200 places or so, 250, and would be nice with a green arrow. Subscribe, like, comment, do whatever you want. Have a good one. Have a good game week. See you